Welcome to Chargers Talk 4630. I'm Stacey Mallory, and we're joined by my co-host and friend, Garrett Elsasser. Before we jump into this, if I could say to you, thanks for being here with us, and please subscribe if you haven't by tapping onto the notifications to the left. Hit the subscribe button in the middle and click the bell on the right. This way, you'll never miss a show or podcast. And as always, we thank you for your support. Well, the NFL 2024 draft is finally over, and I'm happy to say that Harbaugh and Ortiz didn't disappoint. They were patient. They never reached. They got guys that's going to fit their scheme and fit into the culture and the identity that they're trying to build. With this being their very first draft together, I didn't know how it would look, but just from their backgrounds with regards to the success they've had in the past and how they built teams from the inside out, Garrett, this is exactly the feeling I was expecting when this draft ended.
Yeah, Stacey, I think that was a great intro, first of all. I think Joe Alt's incredible. I think we got caught up in the trade back wide receiver fantasy, right?
Yes.
And it made us sleep on his actual greatness that he was going to bring to this O-line.
Yes.
So, I mean, everyone that saw us draft night, we were kind of stunned when he got picked. You know, we didn't get too negative, but we were kind of shocked. And I think that the biggest thing that stands out for me is his footwork. At 6'9", 320, this man can move. Yes. He can get to the second level so quick. He's a great anchor, great in run support. But how quick he can get to that next level of the defense and start taking on those linebackers in secondary, it's going to break open so many runs for this Greg Roman offense.
Yes, I wasn't as shocked about a tackle being taken because the closer we got to the draft, you were starting to hear that from the expert that he was in love with that fifth pick and didn't want to move out of it. And the rumors were J.C. Latham. And I was good with that if they stayed there, only because Joe Alt was a left tackler. And I'm saying in my mind, well, we already got an all-pro left tackle, so they're not going to take him. So that kind of threw me off when they did that. But I heard that Joe Alt was converted from a tight end over to a tackle, you know, so he had the flexibility to do that. So I guess it ain't going to be much of an issue with him moving over to right tackle, especially dealing with a lot of bookends we have to deal with in the division. So now Justin was always under duress from the right side, from his blind side at right tackle. I think that solved the problem now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that he's going to solidify our tackle spot. Right side, we got Joe Alt. Left side, we have Rashawn Slater. And I know that Ortiz came out, or no, it was Jim Harbaugh came out and said that Rashawn Slater is locked in at left tackle. So there's not going to be any musical chairs moving Rashawn to right tackle. I know there's been rumors flying around. So I'm pretty sure we'll see Joe Alt at right. Maybe Trey Pipkins slides inside, but who knows? They have flexibility now. And that's the key that Ortiz talks about this. Depth. Now we can play, we can move, shuffle pieces around, and God forbid an injury happens. Now we have depth. So it'll work out. Yeah.
Well, I saw a piece that Brian Baldinger was kind of like breaking it down with about Joe Alt, and I want to share that with the viewers. So,
I like Joe Alt. He's I don't know how much better Joe's going to get. He's already a great technician. I knew his dad real good, John. His dad played with my brother in Kansas City for a long time, and he's groomed to. I mean, I don't know how much better he's going to get, but I mean, if he's as good as, say, Joe Thomas, because he looks like Joe Thomas to me. Like, anybody would take that. That'd be an upgrade over Braxton Jones. And nothing against Braxton, but you would plug and play Joe Alt right now.
Yeah, I will always tell you that if you win in the trenches, like there's certain things that don't go in and out of vogue. There's certain things that will always win, and they're tried and true. And one is if you can dominate both lines of scrimmage, you're going to win on a consistent basis.
that was so on point. That was to finish it out. And we know Harbaugh, since he was hired, continued to tell us that in the trenches, and that's how he liked to build the team inside and out. And sometimes, like you were saying earlier, we got caught up with the shiny objects, with the Malik Nate, who was a fantastic talent. But Harbaugh was sending a message when he first got there, what he wanted to do, and was preparing us for it. But we couldn't help to see the Malik Neighbors and the Marvin Harrisons. But hey, I'm glad once I saw the pick, keeping Justin Herbert upright and keeping him healthy, that could be problems for the opposing teams now.
Yeah, you never saw a team or fan base with great trenches say, "Man, I wish our trenches were worse." Like if you have great, it starts and ends there. Like if your quarterback has time, your quarterback will look great. Your receivers will look great. And on the other side, if your defense can get to the passer, your corners are going to succeed. Your safeties are going to succeed. You're going to get picks, sacks, all that. So I think that they're starting this foundation, this culture, and it's shifting in the right direction quickly.
Right. Now, with the second pick that they took, I really love this pick here. It took McConkey. He was projected to be picked between the middle to the end of the first round, but he fell into the second because of a back injury he had in college. But doctors cleared him to compete at the combine, which he ran a blazing 4.3, and he knocked out every other drill in the park. I was watching a breakdown by Steve Smith.
Goes up top, gives him a little wiggle, breaks down the DB. Now, so he was at the bottom of it. Now he goes back at the top. The first play was in the first quarter. Still running the same route, goes against zone coverage. They're doubling him. Supposed to, just great play design. Linebacker's supposed to be funneling underneath, and he doesn't. Late to the party, stumbles. Great throw, protects it. Now here's my jerk route. I love this. I love the little jerk route he's running. This is a great. This shows his knowledge and understanding the game. Does a little jerk route. I wish a little bit patient. Get the defender to come towards him a little bit more, but he doesn't. And because he does that, he has to get skinny. He's gonna sneak. He sneaks up on some folks that, in a way, you don't really even think about it. Good.
Man, I love that breakdown that Steve Smith was giving on him. Man, shout out to Steve Smith and Underdog Podcast. I value what Steve Smith said. He was a small guy, that plays very big. He was a great receiver. He was tough as hell. And for him to give him a high grade and really like him a lot, man, I'm really, really more excited about Ladd McConkey. He presents some of the same issues that Keenan Allen did, as far as route running, controlling the middle of the field, coming in and out of his breaks so quick. I love what I see in him. This guy ran a 4.3. I like the new toy and the new weapon that Justin Herbert got.
Yeah, I think that it's funny how we got Keenan Allen. He had that ACL injury when he was in college. He slid down to the third round.
Yeah.
Ladd McConkey cleared from his back injury, right? But there were still concerns there just because, and I think this is more alluding to the talent that the big three had, those receivers up there. Yeah. And then as the draft went on, you saw the receivers weren't really going. I think that even though he was hurt, he showed, you saw it on the film. And when Steve Smith Sr. is excited about a player,
right,
that played the position,
yes.
I mean, he's going to be Justin Herbert's favorite target, I think, coming up. And we're going to see this commitment to the pass game that everyone was afraid of, that we thought we're just going to be run. We're about to see some big numbers coming up.
The third pick, we had a Michigan guy, Junior Colson, linebacker. Junior Colson is a really, really good middle linebacker and student of Jim Harbaugh and Jesse Minter. Impressive coverage skills, could cover tight ends and running backs, and he's a tackling machine, Garrett. What is your thoughts on Junior Colson?
Yeah, Stacey, I think he's just tough. He's physical. He can play sideline to sideline. He can cover in mat zone. And like you said, he can cover the tight end, the running back position, and he can come in on the blitz. He can do everything that a Mike linebacker, an old school Mike linebacker, can do. And he had 95 tackles last season, which is awesome for that defense. And I think the biggest thing here, there was a rumor about Derwin James wearing the green dot at one of the practices, which running the defense, whatever. I think Junior Colson coming to this team, he can take over that green dot, less responsibility for Derwin, so Derwin can focus on being great by himself, and Junior can run the defense he's used to running. Yeah. But I know you got some film on him. I say we go ahead and take a look at that.
Okay.
For the best in the Big Ten with Maryland. 2nd and 10. Hauser, a little high, but it's brought in by Tyrell Henry for a gain of 2.
He's hit 3 different receivers. Sprints out, drops it off, and they'll be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Corey Deitch spent some time late in that game against Ohio State. 3rd down and 5 at the 30. Hill under pressure, underneath, incomplete. 1st down and 10 of the 24. He's done a wonderful job. They've running it with Travion Henderson.
Let's go. You got to do all the good spot on the field to start thinking about that. This is an inside give that will go nowhere. Loss of a yard.
Walk on Timashek. No chance there.
Man, Garrett, listen. If Derwin James was a linebacker, it would probably look like that, because every time you see these plays by Junior Colson, he's always around the line of scrimmage, and he's always in attack mode, coming downfield, making tackles in the backfield, sideline to sideline. This guy going to be very impactful on this defense, and I can't wait to get started.
Yeah, Stacey, I think that he's going to be a leader on this team. He's going to establish himself pretty quickly. And the way you saw the plays, I mean, he can blitz, like I just said. He can, and that last play against Bowling Green was so smart. He just shadowed. He didn't bite too quick. And when he saw the quarterback commit, he was in there so quick.
Yes.
He's so fast. I'm so excited about him.
Okay, we're going to go on to the next pick, which was Justin Eboigbe. You didn't think I would say that correctly, did you?
I would know. I thought you had it. That's a good one, though.
How would you announce it? How would you say it?
Eboigbe for sure.
Okay,
yep,
okay.
Yep,
Justin Eboigbe, he has good frame. He has good size. He got good arm length. He's strong at the point of attack. He uses length really good. He gets his extension on blocks from your offensive lineman. Let's look at his phone call from the Chargers, letting him know that he was drafted. I like that.
Hello.
Hello, Justin.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, brother? It's Joe Ortiz with the Chargers.
I'm doing good. How about you?
Doing great. Been scouting you since the fall, and thought you were a great fit for the defense I was scouting for then, and I think you're a great fit for the defense I'm scouting for now. And how you feel about moving to LA?
I feel great about that.
All right, brother. Well, we're on the clock right now. There's 3 minutes to go, so make sure you're watching your TV because we're going to make you a Charger.
For real?
Yeah, man.
Now let's do it then.
All right, let's do it. Our defensive coordinator is fired up to get you, and I'm going to pass you to Coach Harbaugh here, all right?
Good.
All right, brother. Congratulations.
Justin, it's Coach Harbaugh.
What's up, Coach?
What's up is you being a Charger.
Man, I love to hear that.
You love hearing that?
Well, yeah.
We are loving taking your name off the board and putting it on our roster. Who's got it better than us?
Nobody. But y'all.
Correct answer.
Nobody.
Man, Garrett, some of the things that I liked about this guy, man, he controls the middle of the field. He constantly got a push up the middle, and we haven't had that. We had Sebastian Joseph Day. We had Austin Johnson, and those guys were getting bullied so much, you very rarely see them push the pocket. This guy lined up not only on the inside, he lined up on the outside, on the edge, and still is getting pressure and getting sacks. This guy seemed like he's really strong, really powerful, and if we get a guy that what we've seen in these clips, if he can do this in our defense, man, oh man, that would be huge for Jesse Minter's defense.
Yeah, he's got extreme push ability, and I love how diverse he is across the D-line. I mean, he's built for stopping the run, but he's got that pass rush too. You see it play after play on these clips.
Yes.
I like that he's very diverse. I like that he can move all over the D-line. That's going to add flexibility and depth. I think for sure he's a rotational piece. Like coming into the offseason or into the training camp, he's going to be a rotational piece. Now, he can earn that starting role. I don't see that being a shock to anybody if he does. And one thing I noticed too is he deflects a lot of balls too. He's got some long arms, and so I think that he's just going to add dynamics to this defense that we're not used to seeing, especially from the interior D-line. So I'm extremely excited about him.
I agree. You know, a guy that if you can push he remind me of Jamal Williams was the last nose tackle that we had that constantly pushed the pocket. No quarterbacks do not like getting blitzed up the middle. And he constantly does that when I saw a lot of highlights on him. I'm excited about Justin Eboigbe. I'm just as excited because I didn't know much about the guy with the 5th pick, Tarheeb Steele from Maryland. But before we get started, let's look at this clip of Tarheeb. Okay. I love the highlights that I saw. This is something that we miss from our defense, man. Being able to knock down passes. Guys were catching too many balls free on us, and this guy's sticking like glue.
Yep, that Miami game, week 1 last year. We were just so many people open downfield, and I love seeing his coverage. He's hip to hip right there.
Yes.
Hey, look at that.
Yes.
He had 28 pass breakups and 6 interceptions while at Maryland.
Yes. He stays
Look
in
at
the
that.
back pocket of receivers, man.
He's had a couple of throws where it's been on the back hip. You can't make that kind of mistake against a man cover. They got a shot here.
Yeah, he's this. Oh, another one from the Iowa game. Look at him go. That could have been house.
Yes, absolutely.
He's got playmaking ability written all over him.
Yes.
That's going to be predictable to that side.
Oh. He almost took that and ran with it.
This is why we were so excited about Ortiz. Even though he wasn't the main one, he had input on the draft picks in Baltimore. But, I mean, how good is that being tutored by Eric DaCosta and Ozzie Newsome for 26 years? You can clearly see the way that he drafted, that he was taught very well, because he was finding these dimes in this draft and some that I had never heard of. But, man, am I glad he's with us right now.
Yeah, I think this might have been the only reach, and I say that very loosely just because of where he was on the big board and where we took him. I think it's worth it. I think this was a very calculated risk by Joe Ortiz. I didn't see many on the clips, but he actually has great support in the run game. So absolutely. I think he's going to vie for our slot cornerback slot. Yes. And he's gonna run it, and you'll see he can break off. He can shed blocks like crazy, and he will disrupt those outside zones and those sweeps. And it's going to look like a completely different defense when he's in that backfield every other play. I can't wait.
Yes, I was talking to someone going back and forth on X a little bit yesterday, and like you, they were saying that they thought it was a reach there, and I'm saying, like, I felt like, because I hadn't heard much of him, before, maybe we felt like, because I did too, when Tarheeb Steele, I immediately run to YouTube. I got to find out about this guy. But maybe it was a reach for us, but who knows how high he was on their board.
Oh, you're so right.
Because he's drafting pieces. Like, it seemed like every piece fit right into what we wanted to do, or what Harbaugh wants to do on offense and on the defensive side.
Yeah, that's why I said loosely, just because I think his position on the big board, consensus big board, and all that stuff, he was a little bit higher than where we took him. Yes. But I guarantee, there's obviously a reason Joe Ortiz took him, because he likes what he saw, and so do I. I don't know why he was that low, because he looks great.
I have fell in love with the guy that you took in your mock draft. if I could say his name, Sandra Steele.
Oh, yeah.
I had fell in love with him, and I was hoping that, that he would fall to us. But I'm glad they didn't reach, and they didn't reach too much, and they didn't give up a lot of capital. They just let everything come right to them. So I like that. But the 5th pick, I'm going to tell you, I'm really excited about this guy, Cam Hart, because Cam Hart has all the makings of being a shutdown corner. That's what I see when I look at the film. And I don't know what you saw, but let's look at this piece first, and then I'll let you go ahead and comment.
All right. Sounds good.
You can even comment during what you see.
All right. Cam Hart, man, I just started looking up on him probably about a month and a half ago. And because he kept following to me in my mocks, and I was just like, all right, I got to look at this guy. He has the same cornerbacks coach from Cincy, right? Do you know who came from Cincy? A guy named Sauce Gardner. Coach Sauce, and he coached him. Same frame, same play stylistically, and he's a former wide receiver, so he's got that feel for those routes and combos the receivers try to set up. You see that break? Is that a pick? That's a pick? That's insane. That's absolutely insane.
Yes.
The biggest thing that stood out to me on his film is that he can hit, but he played against Marvin Harrison Jr. and didn't let up one catch.
Right.
Every snap that he had against Marvin Harrison Jr., he had him locked down.
Right. And he's a big guy too, man. What, he's 6'2"?
6'3". He's 6'3". He's long. He is long.
Yeah.
He was compared to Cam Chancellor, but with a C, in the sense of Cam Chancellor had the K, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that he's essentially like a big corner that could also play safety, or in defenses are hybrid now. He can cover the tight end as a corner. So we get those Travis Kelce games, we get those games against a prolific tight end. He's going to take him and shut him out, and I can't wait.
100%.
I think that he could be a true CB1 if he learns how to shed blocks and get into that backfield and disrupt the run game, like Still can. And I think that those two are going to feed off each other. They're going to be a great secondary pairing.
Yeah, I totally agree. And this guy got the prototypical size for a corner that they like, 6'3", long, rangy, but then he got a thump, though. He can hit. Like, he has the mindset of a safety. So I like, again, this is a perfect piece for what they're talking about. Tough, physicality. This is what they're talking about. And I like this pick up here. We're going to jump to the 6th pick. And I was kind of surprised. Again, another one that they did their homework. I didn't know much about them, but when I pulled up this running back, Kamani Vidal, when I pulled him up, the more highlights I saw, the more I was talking. God, let's look at his picks.
It looks like you lost another one.
State. And the give to Vidal. He's got room to run far side. Can he take it to the house? Harmon. We featured him as one of our impact players tonight. Watson will dump it to Vidal. He's got room near side, and instead of going out of bounds, he goes down the sidelines. He's still on his feet.
He does look like a grown man, yeah.
And there's some room, some space for Vidal. And he's into...
Right now, 8 guys in the box. And they give it to Vidal, and he beats it. Look at him go! Kamani Vidal!
Ball on the 22, 1st and 10. Vidal has some room on the outside. Making guys look silly. Gunnar Watson on 3rd and 7. Here comes the blitz. They find Vidal out of the backfield. He's got room to run. Side.
Let me tell you, man. Hey, Garrett, let me tell you something, man. You know who he remind me of when I watch? You know what?
Don't say it. Don't say it. I have it in my notes. I swear. You want to say it on 3? Go for it. Let's hear it.
Ray Rice. That's what he looks like to me. He looks like a Ray Rice. Strong, short, but thick on the lower extremities. And, hard to tackle. You seen a lot of guys. He's bouncing off a lot of tackles. So, I mean, I think he bring a total different element with that speed, and with him and Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins. Man, this is starting to shape up to look pretty damn good to me, man.
There's not one pick so far, and spoiler alert for the rest of the draft, that I'm even somewhat iffy about. So, I'm sold. The comparison I was going to go with, and now this might be a little controversial, but I like my Darren Sproles 2.0. Our little lightning bug is back in the fold right now. I mean, obviously, he's got a lot thicker of a lower half than Darren Sproles did.
Yeah.
But that short stature, that hiding behind the lineman and shooting the gap where linebackers can't track, I think that's what's making him so great. He hits that hole with such a burst and has such strong legs that any instant contact that he has, he just bounces off of it.
Yes.
So
I agree with you. I do. I did think about Darren Sproles because he was so short,
Yeah, that's that. He's short and quick,
right? But he's and Darren was really small. He was like 5'6", and it's just his little feet was, and he would get lost behind the line because he was so small. But I could see how you can look at him and resemble Darren Sproles, but he just a little bigger. But
no, you're right. He's got tree trunk legs, which is why he's bouncing on. So maybe if like Austin Eckler and Darren Sproles somehow had a miracle baby, that's who we're getting right now.
but again, when you think about what they're constantly talking about, tough physicality, you see it with every pick. You can see it. It's tough. They're physical. They don't want to go down. I love it.
It's written all over every pick. You see their trademark stamp on it. You're like, this makes sense. This makes sense. Every time I'm like, I'm saying the same thing. Oh, this makes sense.
Yes. So we're going to go down. We got 2 more picks left. We're in the 7th round, and surprise, man. I could not believe. And this was one of your picks. And you had him, what round you had him going in?
I believe I had him in the 4th or
in the
5th.
4th round.
I'm going to have to check, but yes.
For him to be available in the 7th round. And he talked. He went on some interviews on Kay's show, and he talked about wishing that he could be catching balls from Justin Herbert. And lo and behold, here he is. So let's look at some footage on Brendon Rice really quick.
I love this.
Even though he was labeled a tight end. Well, there's a nice reception, and Brendon Rice gets his first touch of the night.
I mean, he don't have that 4.3 speed that everyone else have, but everything else that he has makes up for that speed he don't have.
He's such an end zone threat too. You see him in all these USC games.
Yes.
Like, and we weren't awful, but we weren't great at it when we got down to look at that. He just finds a way to get open. You don't need top end speed when you're in the red area, right?
Yes. Yes.
I mean, he was open for a while. He's just running. He's like, just give me the ball. Look at him.
Right. Never stop moving. That's good.
Nope, didn't stop. He ran from the other side of the field, got in the quarterback's vision, and caught that one.
Yeah.
And then here you go. Look at this.
Hey, listen,
in stride.
Keenan didn't have top end speed as well, but that didn't stop him from being a 6-time All-Pro and being one of the best wide receivers in the league. So I really love this pick right here.
Absolutely, and it's his playmaking ability, just like his dad. When it comes to big time, I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to show up in the clutch for us. That's just a gene. Look at him go.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. You don't need that top-end speed that much when you have the body style like he has.
No, and the way he split safeties on that post, look at this. Look at this.
Oh, my God. Oh, look over the shoulder.
And the quarterback put it in the right place. That was a walk-in touchdown.
Yep.
I mean, listen.
Yeah.
I mean, you went back-to-back with these receivers. It ended up taking 3 receivers. Who would have thought? But I love what they did, man, by taking Alt and then McConkey and Colson and Eboigbe and Still and Cam Hart, and then the running back, Kamani Vidal, and now you get Brendon Rice. I mean, to me, that's tremendous value to get this guy at the 7th pick. And being the son of Jerry Rice, you know Jerry Rice going to stay on top of him and make sure that and he said something that I really liked. He didn't like the fact that he was still sitting there with the 7th pick.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, everybody for 6 rounds that passed me up is going to feel me. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
And he got drafted the day he put his best friend in the ground, sadly.
Yeah.
I know. I don't know if you were tracking that story, but for him to just such a strong, I felt it. It gave me chills reading that message on the day that he did something like that, to be so motivated to get on the field. This man is going to have a chip on his shoulder like we've never seen.
I agree with that 100%. You know, that had to be pretty tough at a funeral. And then, you know, most of the time when you get that call, you're excited and you jump for joy, the family celebrating. And he was in a somber mood at the time. And I'm sure they couldn't show that. Something good and positive came out of it. And I know he's going to be motivated to play, and he's probably going to carry that in his heart, because he's going to always remember where he was in his state mentally, where he was at with his friend when he got that phone call. And I'm sure he's going to carry that throughout his career.
And I want to throw that respect out. The best friend who passed is Keith Miller III. So, you know, that's who he's going to be playing for. And, you know, respect to that. I don't want to just say his friend, but, you know, rest in peace. And hopefully Brendon Rice comes in. He's got his chip on his shoulder, and he's going to play out of his mind. I can see it. And he might be the first rookie jersey I get without even seeing someone touch the field. I'm excited about this pick.
Yes, so am I. And the last and final pick, which we were shocked because he took another receiver. And again, going to look, I'm like, okay, I thought, you know, we're so used to Tom Telesco with that other team over there in Las Vegas. We're so used to him reaching after maybe the second round. Everything was a reach. And so this is the first draft we had under Harbaugh and Ortiz. So we didn't kind of like know what to expect, but we expected something good, but we didn't know what it was going to look like.
Exactly.
And when they pulled up Cornelius Johnson, they announced it immediately. I'm jumping like to see, it's the 7th round. Maybe this guy might be a practice squad. Oh, no. Let's look at the footage on this guy.
Let's watch it. Put it on. This is that game against East Carolina.
And another Mitchell guy, might I add.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that goes without saying. Everyone else already knows. This is, if you're watching this podcast, you know it's a Michigan guy.
Yes.
He had a great game.
Yes,
Go
he
ahead.
did. Go ahead. Keep talking.
Okay, I was going to say he had a great game against East Carolina. He also had 2, I don't know if it's on this clip, but he had 2 insane touchdowns against Ohio State, which obviously is a high caliber defense. And he took the top off them twice.
Yes.
I think it was back-to-back drives too. I'll have to verify that. But I think he is, the biggest thing that stood out to me was his contested catch rate was 81.8%, which is unheard of.
Yeah. And I didn't put that when I was pulling up the clips, we know that the guy could score touchdowns and all, but I was showing this because this is what I was so excited about. Whenever we had faced a team in the past and there were heavy blitzing constantly because our line was hurting in a lot of areas. We had injuries. We lost Corey Lindsey at center. Trey Pipkins struggled against fast edge rushers on the end. And Justin never had people open. And when you look at all these clips, the middle of the field, all the underneath stuff, this guy was money on everything underneath, and that's something that Justin missed so much when Mike Williams and Keenan Allen went down or they were out. He didn't have nobody that he can count on. And that's what I saw with Cornelius Johnson. I think Justin Herbert's going to love this guy.
Yeah, I think, honestly, these two being in the 7th round is kind of poetic because I think they complement each other in such a way where Brendon Rice has that. He's big in traffic, but he could use his size a little bit more. Cornelius Johnson uses his size. And like I said, that 81.8 contested catch rate that's insane. It's such a good ability to have. So even if he's not open, which both these receivers do a great job separating, by the way. But if there is that one guy who can kind of stick to him, there's still a chance to make this catch. That's two receivers who can make those Mike Williams catch
100%
styles. So,
and this fits right into what I keep bringing it up because I was saying for 2 months on the podcast because everybody was saying Marvin Harrison, Roma Dunce, and Malik Neighbors, and I was constantly trying to stick to what Harbaugh constantly been saying. I've been sticking to that, everywhere he's went, whether it was the 49ers, the San Diego Toreros, it was Michigan, Stanford, he didn't have them different makers at receiver, but he won at the highest level constantly. And you see with Cornelius Johnson, with Brendon Rice, and even with McConkey, they're not the big tier 1 receivers, but these guys going to complement this offense and this run game so well that you may not see Justin throw for 5,000 yards. You may not see these receivers get 90 catches. But guess what's going to change? The wins. In that win-loss column, you're going to rack up wins because you're going to be able to control the line of scrimmage. When you need a third down, that 3rd and 5, when you need it, you have guys. You have McConkey that can kill you in the slant plays. You got Cornelius Johnson that can catch everything underneath. And then you got Brendon Rice that could take it up top. I love what they did in this draft. I think this is one of the best drafts the Chargers had since 2004.
Yeah, it's hands down. It's not even close. Especially, sans the Tom Telesco era. This feels completely different. I remember checking out after round 3 and just being like, okay, whoever we get. I watched this whole draft. I watched every pick, and I was just so excited and so in tune. And every time, I was so gratified after every pick. It just was something that was so exciting because every player has potential, and every player is going to make an impact.
Right.
And one thing I saw too was our top 3 picks were all within the top 50.
Yes.
On the big boards. So between
from big schools, the SEC. Yes.
Yep. So we got 3 picks, even though pick 69 came in. We got Junior Colson, who's ranked number 42 on the big board. That's awesome. That is such value at those positions.
Yes.
And just nothing else to be excited for except training camp right now. I'm ready to go.
Yes. 100%. I think they nailed it. I loved it. Like we were saying, the only thing that was a shocker in the beginning when we were doing the live coverage of the draft on day 1. The only thing was the shocker was Alt, not because I didn't think Alt was a great tackle. He was the best tackle on everyone's board coming out of college. But I was thinking about, we already have a left tackle. He a left tackle. But then I found out early in his career, he was a tight end. And, he put on weight and he transitioned to a tackle and turned out to be the best in college, at it. And then I also found out that Rashawn Slater, who's our all-pro left tackle, he played like 15 games in college as a right tackle. So these guys are very versatile, and I didn't know that about Rashawn Slater until I started digging up some stuff. And so now I am totally happy from pick 1 all the way to the end. I love the coaching staff that we have in place. It's an all-star cast. Jesse Minter's got to be excited about the defensive pieces, and with the running game that we're going to have with Gus Edwards and all these guys. You got the tight ends with Hayden Hurst. The Chargers is going to be a physical team that control the line of scrimmage, and what you've seen in the past where we struggle to close out wins, you're going to see them closing out wins and running time off the clock after a couple of first downs at the end of games.
I'm excited to see that predictable, when Chargers receive first, they get the ball, first play, Herbert comes out there, and you just know it's going to be a run, right? Everyone in the stadium knows, and it goes for 0 yards, and Herbert's immediately in a 2nd and 10.
Right.
You're like, here we go. I can't wait until Herbert gets that 2nd down, and it's 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4. Right. I think Mike Devlin, the Chargers O-line coach, and Greg Roman are going to reshape this whole – we're going to see an offense that we haven't seen.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be exciting. I'm so excited for it.
I'm excited too, man. I really am. And anything else you want to add before we close this out?
I want to say thanks to the fans for hanging out with us on draft night. That was a lot of fun.
Yes, it was.
If you haven't seen that podcast, go check it out. I know Stacey's got it archived on the channel. And I know you'll close us out, but just, thank you for everybody for tuning in. Shouts out to my guys in Florida. I know you're Jags fans down there. My buddies are, they got some mixed feelings with their draft, but I know that us Charger fans are thrilled, and we cannot wait for the next step.
Yes. Well, if you like the content here and you want to support this podcast and our community, please subscribe and share the link with someone who may not have tuned into us yet. And as always, we appreciate you. We appreciate your support. And let's see what this draft will bring us and the success we have in year 1 under Harbaugh and Ortiz. I hope to see you guys soon. Until then, be safe, be well, enjoy your weekend, and bolt up.
Bolt up.
Take care, Garrett.
Hey, have a good one, Stacey.